So welcome to you all, and thank you for being here for this talk. As you said, I'm Francis Lareau. I'm presently doing my postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Sherbrooke and the University of Quebec in Montreal, Canada. And this comparative study of LDA and BERTopic performance across text levels have been done with Christopher Malaterre from the University of Quebec in Montreal. So this paper is all about topic modeling. So that is the extraction of themes from a corpus, which has become an important tool to analyze large volume of scientific literature, especially in the history, philosophy, and sociology of science. Now, topic modeling has been used for different tasks, notably identifying research trends and paradigm shifts, identifying substructures and interrelation of themes, analyzing the evolution of scientific vocabulary, and so on. And all of the papers cited above apply topic modeling to different textual structures, namely titles, abstract, and full text. And that leads us to our research question. Is it sufficient to apply topic modeling to title or abstract, or is full text analysis necessary? So, they don't?
Maybe unshare and share again. Oh, it's the next one. Oh, you shared this one. And now I should go. And now if you go back to the example thing. So not this big, I think this could be a problem. So as yesterday, this one. Try to go to the next one. No.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Is this in full screen? Because it should not be in full screen. If you just open it big but not full screen, I think that's the solution. Can you just?
Yeah. So sorry for that.
You can work like this.
My experience is that if we do a presentation in a technology conference, something will go wrong for sure.
Now it works.
Okay. So that was all the cited literature about that, using different text structure. And that's where I was now. So to address this question, we constituted a corpus of scientific articles and identified the title, abstract, and full text. And we then applied two topic modeling approaches, LDA and BERTopic, on title, abstract, and full text. And finally, the 6 resulting topic models were analyzed and compared both qualitatively and quantitatively. Now let's move on to our methodology. So the two topic modeling approaches are latent Dirichlet allocation, LDA for short, and BERTopic. So these two approaches both postulate that documents can be represented by numerical vectors. Topics can be identified by means of repetitions, which highlights linguistic regularities. And machine learning makes it possible to automatically detect these regularities. Now, LDA is a classical statistical technique that uses simple vector representation based on counting words in documents. And in this approach, topics correspond to latent variables that respond to Dirichlet's law. And it can handle long text so that we can choose between title, abstract, or full text. Now, in the other end, BERTopic is a recent modular approach that uses LLM-based vector representation, BERT originally, hence the name. And topics correspond to clusters of documents, and it does not handle long text until very recently. And that's why we have tested this method with the new embeddings techniques that can handle long text, approximately 131,000 tokens. Now let's move on to the material used in this study, which is an in-depth topic analysis of an astrobiology corpus. So following an evaluation process, we selected a full-text LDA model with 25 topics. The topics were analyzed in detail using the most representative words and documents, and then we named the topic using the keywords. The topics were then compared by means of their mutual correlation, which was based on the topics in the document. And then a community detection identified 4 clusters, each indicated by a letter A, B, C, and D in a color red, green, yellow, and blue. And on the screen, we see a representation of those results in the form of a graph of correlation between the 25 topics with the name and color variation of the group to which the topics belongs. And note that the line thickness represents the correlation strength between the topics, and the circle's length represent the overall presence of the topic in all the documents. And in short, this analysis allows us to qualitatively compare the 6 topic models investigated. Now, for the quantitative analysis, we compare the topic models with 4 metrics. So first, the adjusted rand index evaluates the similarity between all 6 models based on the tendency of the documents to be clustered together or not. Second, the topic diversity evaluates if the topics are described by different words within a topic model. Third, the joint recall evaluates if the top words do jointly recall the documents of each topic. And finally, the coherence metrics evaluate if the top words belong together in some meaningful way. Now let's move on to the results. Now, the adjusted rand index between all 6 topic models reveals the similarities between them. Now, a quick reminder here, a 0 is equivalent to a random clustering with this metric. So our results show that LDA on title is the most different model, as shown with the yellow poor values in the heat map with values under 0.2. Now, all other models got a better match overall with values over 0.2. And in general, BERTopic models will fit more strongly to each other with values over 0.35. And note here that BERTopic abstract seems more central here as it corresponds well to each model, apart from the LDA title model. And a more in-depth analysis between the LDA models provide more detail. So in table A, comparing LDA full text and LDA abstract, we see that they are a good fit overall because every topic of one model tends to match with one topic of the other with a high proportion of shared documents. So that's the reddish diagonal in the table. And of course, the data here is organized for us to see this diagonal. So we see 3 full text LDA topics that disappear. So that's the 3 long horizontal dark gray lines in table A. And we see 3 topics splitting into the abstract model. So that's the 3 short horizontal dark gray lines in the table. We see 3 new abstract topics appearing. So that's the 3 long vertical dark gray lines in the table. And we see 3 topics resulting from mergers. So that's the 3 short horizontal dark gray lines in table A. Also, we see 1 small class in the abstract topics with less than 50 documents. So that's the last line showing the total number of documents. Now in table B, comparing LDA full text and LDA title, we see that they are a poor fit, leading to a lot of reorganizations because we see a lot of vertical and horizontal dark lines in table B. Now, with BERTopic models in table C, comparing LDA full text and BERTopic full text, we see that they are an average fit overall. We see in the horizontal axis 8 topics disappearing and 6 topics are split into the BERTopic model. We see in the vertical axis 5 new topics appearing and 1 topic resulting from mergers. And in the last line, showing the total number of documents, we see 4 small classes and 1 very large class. In the table D, comparing LDA full text and BERTopic abstract, we see that they are a relatively good fit overall. We see in the horizontal axis 4 topics that disappear and 6 topics that are split. We see in the vertical axis 2 new topics appearing and 4 topics resulting from mergers. Now finally, in the table E, comparing LDA full text and a BERTopic title, we see that they are an average fit overall. We see in the horizontal axis 7 topics that disappear and one topic that is split. And we see in the vertical axis 7 new topics appearing and one topic resulting from merger. In the last line, showing the total number of documents, we see 3 small classes and 1 large class. Now let's take a look at some example of what it is, a robust splitted or merged teams. So when we compare the topic topwords in the LDA models, we observed that the topics were relatively well formed across all models. We saw some robust topic with a very good correspondence across all LDA models, like the one at the screen named A radiation spore. We observed topics of the full text model split across several topics in the abstract and title models, like the one named A life civilization and B chemistry. So the former split making sense with a general topic about research and astrobiology, and the later split for B chemistry being more difficult to understand without further analysis. We also observed topics of the full text model merge into new topics, like the topic named B amino acid and B protein gene RNA, which makes sense in making a more general topic. Now continuing the top words assessment with the 3 BERTopic model, we still saw relatively well-formed topics across all models. We observed again the robustness of A radiation spore across all models. We saw that A life civilization is also relatively stable across all models, but with some splitting here and there, leading to narrower topics on extraterrestrial life. And across BERTopics models, we observed that splitting B chemistry also lead to narrow topics. Now let's see the performance metrics results for all 6 models, but for different number of topics ranging from 5 to 50. So let's start with the coherence metrics that evaluate the meaningfulness of the topic topwords. So we observed that titles offer the worst coherence. Abstract models are better than full text model. And overall, the BERTopic coherence is better than LDA for abstract and titles, but the difference is vanishing while the number of topic is rising. And the winner here is clearly BERTopic abstract. For the diversity of the top words representing the topics, it tends to decrease with the number of topics. So title models offer a better diversity compared to the abstract or full text counterpart. BERTopic diversity is better than LDA, and the winner here is BERTopic title, closely followed by BERTopic full text. The joint recall evaluates how well the top words jointly represent every document classified in each topic, and we see that titles offer the worst recall. Full text is better than their counterpart, and the winner here is LDA full text and BERTopic full text, very closely followed by BERTopic abstract. In summary, we assembled the results together to offer an overall idea of the model's performance. And for each assessment, we represented the performance with a circle with black for the highest score and white for the lesser score. And of course, different research objectives can lead to different needs and choices so that there is no absolute best model here. For instance, one's objective might be the discovery of the main topics without the need of classifying precisely every document, in which case poor recall or large class might not be a problem. In that case, full text BERTopic performed well, but with some class imbalance. And title BERTopic, while far from optimal, did produce some robust topics found in all the other models. On the other end, if you want the maximum number of documents to cover all the topics, then full text BERTopic and title BERTopic is not recommended, since they both lead to large class of documents and poor recall in the case of BERTopic title. Now, LDA title is not recommended either because it performed poorly in almost every assessment. In other words, We recommend doing topic modeling on abstract or full text with LDA or BERTopic if it does not lead to misclassification of documents relevant to topics. In conclusion, our research revealed some key findings. First, the poor performance of titles models. So one possible explanation is the lack of information in titles, which can lead to false classification of documents. Yet we observed a lot of meaningful topics in the BERTopic title model. And in that regard, the goal might be to reach a balance between well-defined topic and document topic coverage. Second, full text models sometimes struggle to process a lot of information. So with LDA, topics can be more loosely defined and broader in coverage. And some topics can be secondary, such as methodology topic. Now with BERTopic, some topics can be too narrow and leading to poor document coverage and class size problems. And third, the abstract model seems to perform well with summary information, and the results are consistent between LDA full text and both abstract model. And fourth, the robustness of topics. So overall, we found very similar topics across the board, which allow for meta-analytic methods to identify the most robust topic, for example. And moreover, it might also be possible to use the relative distance across models to find an optimum, which was the BERTopic abstract model in our case, and who did very well in all other metrics, by the way. And lastly, is it time for new models? So one might say yes, since it's possible to use the structural information, so full text, abstract, and title, to extract more meaningful set of topics or top words. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Francis. Are there any questions? Yes.
Hello. All right. Thank you for this great talk. I think any like studies that do benchmarking and do thorough analysis of the methods that are available, I think is always needed. LDA, as I understand it, uses a direct prior, which has been shown many times that actually doesn't obey Zipf's law, or that words don't, the distribution of words don't follow this uniform prior that LDA or any formation, any derivative of LDA has an assumption of. And LDA also, I'm sure you know better than me, I'm sure, is that like it requires a lot of free parameter optimization. You have to set the topics, and so there's other models like models that are based on networks or community detection that's actually more mathematically rigorous and more formulated. And so have you tried testing BERTopic and LDA against those methods?
Thank you. But one interesting thing about LDA is that it can, in principle, reconstruct your data set from the matrices that you have there. And there's NMF that is doing the same thing. That is interesting too. And all the other approaches that you cited are interested too. And there's a lot of different methods. They should be all tested, of course. So you're right on that. And we are in the process to test more, but it would be long because there's a lot to do.
Adrian?
And thank you. I'm a big fan of these tests also when I buy products. So this helps with decision fatigue. So I just, perhaps it's more a comment. I think it's just really helpful to see, because sometimes one struggles with access, right, to full text because these are journals and so on. And then with this kind of studies, it's really helpful. I think you can sort of think, okay, what do I need? What cost is it for me to have access to full text or titles or abstract? And then you can sort of really see what's probably the best choice at the moment. So yeah, perhaps just a comment. Thank you. I think that's really helpful.
Thank you so much.
There's one question over there.
You mentioned generation of like topic titles, yeah, or something like that, like definitions of topics. So when you say generation, like how do you generate them? And the second question is, like when you mentioned BERTopic, it's like BERTopic consists of many things. So it's good to know. What I'm missing first is like what model, for example, was used.
Okay, thank you. I did not understand the first question. How does it generate back the full data?
Sorry, you need to use the microphone so that the people on Zoom can hear you as well.
Okay, so when you show the graph and there are like descriptions of topics.
Yeah.
So, and you mentioned that you generate them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you generate
Okay,
them?
thank you. Okay. So there's different technique to generate description of the topics. I think that whatever techniques we use, it's very important to go back to the actual data. And topic modeling usually involve the ranking of the words and the ranking of the documents related to each topic. So it will be important to go back to those texts and go back to those words to understand more closely what is about, or as Arnaud said, to get in touch with the data sets and what it is. The second question is about which model? I had to cut. I made you 20 minutes, but then I heard that it was 15 minutes. So the BERTopic approach by Martin is very interesting. It's a modular approach. So it's that is Martin Grudensdorf, who you can take different approaches for each step of the BERTopic model. And we use the vanilla regular BERTopic models, except for the first step, which is the embeddings. So for this part, we use this model. So it's the highest ranking on the massive text embedding benchmark on Hugging Face. It's Stella EN 1.5B version 5. And so the criterion to pick this one was the number of tokens that you can use, and then the highest score on the mean of a bunch of tasks. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
sorry.
based on Alibaba, by the way.
Okay, so we have 5 more questions. Is it okay if we collect some of them and
Yeah.
then you answer? Okay, so first, Luca.
Yeah. So first thing I would like to mention, so regarding the other models that would be interesting to look into, I think one of them could be embedding topic models, because they combine this idea that we can learn embeddings and topology of the linguistic space, and at the same time still have a data generative model that is, I think, a nice feature of as a Bayesian of topic models. And then I was wondering if you're considering evaluating topics also based on correlations with independent information. So maybe which paper cite which paper, because I think it's a nice way of assessing the quality of topics that is not relying on certain metrics that sometimes are not necessarily correlated with human judgments.
I didn't understand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Slower,
So have you
please.
considered evaluating topics based, for instance, of how well they predict which paper cite which paper? So using independent information you might have on your corpus to assess their quality. Do your topics correlate with tangible things? It could be a signal of how good they are.
I think you are on something there. There's something very interesting to do there.
Okay.
It's exciting to hear.
Yeah, we can discuss that. And also, I've seen a paper that evaluated, that compared topic models according to whether we use titles, etc. And they also assessed the effect of the size of the corpus. And I don't know if it's something you can assess because you have a fixed corpus with a certain scale, but are you considering looking into that as well? How your results depend on the size of the corpus? And I think, stop.
Okay, I will collect a few more if it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Raphael?
But just rapidly, yes, we should replicate with other sets.
Then Arno.
Yeah, this is just a quick reminder of my comment from yesterday. Since BERTopic uses sentence or document embeddings in your case, or either title embeddings or abstract embeddings or document embeddings, it relies on some notion of similarity that has been encoded during the contrastive learning process in SentenceBERT probably, or whatever these models use. And so I think this is something we need to think about, at least. What does this imply? Because we're using them as black boxes. Or have you carefully thought of how did they use the contrastive pre-training for these sequence embeddings, and what impact would have had like different types of notions of similarity during this pre-training to your topic modeling results?
Yeah, good question. There's a lot of thing about topic modeling that doesn't fit exactly on what we think is a topic. So here we are looking for topics that cover a lot of documents, but you might be interested on very rare example of documents that talk about a topic, but it's rare. So that doesn't cover that. And that's a problem because the different topic document will be clustered somewhere in the main topics. So there's a lot of different problems with those approach. And the methods that you use define what is topic for you. So of course, similarity is one problem. With BERTopics, but with the HDB scan module, if that's what you use, it's a topological density. So that define your topics. And it tends to have some centroid documents that represent more closely the topics. And in the circumference or whatever shape is the density and the limits, it's less about the topics. It's less clear. It's fuzzy, more fuzzy there. And so with LDA, it's another assumption, completely latent variables. But our question was, will we say the same story if we take the same approach, different approaches? And basically, it's close because we find the same topics, not exactly, it's not a perfect match, but would we say something that resemble? And yes, even if it's title, abstract, or a full text, and BERTopic or LDA. So that's very interesting, yeah. But that's not a perfect match.
Okay, so we have another question from Gerd.
Using DB-scan, I think, I hope I correctly understand it. It's a multi-label classification problem that you use mathematically. And the key question is you propose to compare basically, forget about the title, the abstract with the full text. And your result is that the classification techniques yield the same classification patterns or proposals. Now, using the full text, I would assume that even parts of the full text yield the same performance. For example, the bibliography. Did you try that if you take a part of the full text, like the bibliography, that you get the same results basically already?
That's very interesting. I did not test it. I did not thought about it, so I will cite you when I'll do it. It's very interesting. Yeah, I think it's important to take, you have metadata with your corpus, and why not using it for topic modeling? And of course, it will be very interesting to do that. Yeah.
Okay, we have two final questions from the chat. Sorry, David, I don't think we have time for that.
I read them. So first question in Zoom from Johnny Bunning is, don't the result depend to some degree on the field? One can imagine title and abstract conventions differing between astrobiology and, say, quantum physics. I read the second question as well, so we can, from Johanna Mehler, could you imagine that the evaluation could look different when using different hyperparameters? Did you use several constellations per method? So different fields and different hyperparameters.
Okay, different fields, that's a question I have. It'd have to be tested. I do topic modeling in philosophy, and sometimes the lexical is different there. And sometimes I'm not sure if I should use the very hot embedding models and just use doc2vec because it goes closer to the data set. So that's a good question. I don't have the answer. We have to test and check. And the other one was about the different parameters. So by testing different k number, we did somehow test different iteration of the model. So we have some interesting contrasting results to see. But yes, we could have added a lot of more different parameters. It would be even better, but impossible for you or me to understand with a big set of results to present you today. But of course, it will be, and I encourage you to test different model and different parameterization, and then test with the metric which one would be best. Yeah.
Okay, that was quicker than I expected. Do you want to ask your question? Sorry. Do you want to?
So I just support an idea to use structured metadata with ontologies. So basically, instead of like you mentioned, like reference section could be also exposed to structured metadata, where you have ontology like title, description, and other stuff, and authors. And this structured metadata is excellent source of training. So I believe it will give you much more better results.
Okay.
In the long run.
Thank
you.